सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात्। So when the great two devotees, Shri Uddhav Ji and our Vidur Ji Maharaj met, they had such a great time sharing the incidents that were surrounding, involving Lord. That both of them forgot almost time and space. And since Vidurji was the one who had gone on yatra and was updating his information, and his question was answered in one sentence by Uddhavji, that with the will of the Lord, all the Yadukula Vamsha got completely destroyed. And the Lord himself called me before he could do this to instruct me of this great knowledge that I was desiring of. Now, as soon as Uddhavji said this, that he was instructed of this knowledge, Vidurji asked him about sharing that knowledge that the Lord has given to him and knowing more about what the Lord had given at the end. But Uddhavji said that he was not the one who was supposed to give this knowledge, and that Vidurji's file had been moved to a different department. Maitreyaji was responsible for answering all the queries of Sri Vidurji Maharaj. So in the third canto, the fourth chapter, अथते तद अनुज्ञाता भुक्त्वा पीत्वा च वारुणीं तया विभ्रंशित ज्ञानाः दुरुक्तैः मम पस्पृशुः मर्मस्पस्पृशुः. Now he started explaining how the Yadukula Vamsha got destroyed. They went and asked Krishna Bhagavan, all the Yadukula Vamsha, there will be one person who would be pushed normally to ask permission. You go ask on our behalf. And there is this one fellow who would go and said, I am not afraid of Krishna, I will go ask. And what did he ask? Anugnyata bhuktva. We are going to this seashore to enjoy and have some food. Lord said, Tathastu. And normally when people take permission or inform, it has been observed that never is it that they give complete information. I mean, even running the mission here, I see that if there is a complaint, I cannot take an action immediately because somewhere you know that the information passed on is only half the information. It is truth, but only half the truth has been given. Not the completeness is given. So here also you find that these fellows, they go to Lord Krishna and say, we are just going to the seashore to eat something. So Lord said, Tathastu. So what did they go do? After eating, Pitva cha Varunim, there was this powerful Madira, powerful spirit, liquor called Varuni, which they consumed. And now this Varuni Madira is something that which Vibhramshita Jnanaha, it immediately destroys your buddhi. The thinking capacity is destroyed. And what did they do? Duruktaihi marma pasprushuhu. They started cursing each other. Retrievable data, retrievable memory of what had happened in the past somewhere, some corner wherein it was not that important. But they were so drunk that they lost their, and they started cursing each other, calling names with each other, hurting each other terribly with words. So there was a great master, he used to say, whether it is Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga or the Kali Yuga, it is decided upon the texture of your mind. What a beautiful point. It is not the outside environment, it is the texture of your mind which determines in which yuga you are living in. Like I think it was in our teachers' meeting. We had asked the teachers to give an account, like what was their name, where were they working, what were their hobbies, if they were married, how many kids they were having, little introduction to their kids. So this lady said, my daughter is of Dwapar Yuga. and my son is perfectly born in Kali Yuga. And I said, yes, that is so true. It depends on the texture of your mind, of what yuga you are living in, not the external environment. And he says, who is the mother of Kali Yuga? Durukta bhashanam Kali Yuga jananim. Durukta bhashanam. You say, utter something bad, cursing somebody. Even for fun. How many times have we not observed that something starts on fun and then it ends up very serious? And then when you sit back and think about it started only for fun. And it gets that seriousness and then we end up being miserable. So where does Kali Yuga start? Kali Yuga starts with Durukta Bhashanam. With terrible things to say. So many masters have said so many great things about Bhashanam, how to say things. The wisest thing is to keep quiet. Wisest thing. But our eczema is so strong. The itch is so strong. You feel like, I can't take it anymore. Shut up! And we burst out. We keep waiting, and whoop, we burst out. That's why they say in Sanskrit Subhashita also, Maunam Pandita Lakshanam. Right, there is a little story about Kalidas ji. When Kalidas ji, it's a very funny story because Kalidas was not born a genius. This is the story presumed about him. In fact, the villager who was passing looked at Kalidas, who was striking on the branch that he was sitting, facing the tree, and cutting the branch towards the tree. It seems he said, "Arey niche girega, you'll fall down." I know what I'm doing, and he started cutting it. And soon enough, because of the weight, sooner than he had expected, it just cut itself and fell down. And along with the branch fell Kalidas also. So he ran for this person who had instructed him that he would fall. Right? Aap to trikalagnya hai. You knew the future. You predicted the future. In fact, he was in search of somebody who was such murkha. To insult somebody who had come to challenge the king's courtiers. So all that he was supposed to do is sit there, and for whatever action done the other side, because he said, we will have something, a debate in silence. So the Pandit ji said, that the challenger who had come to the king's court said, so Kalidas ji said, so that Pandit ji accepted the answer. And the Pandit ji then clarified that I said it is only Advaita. I said, if you are looking at this world and competing in this world, though it is Advaita, you are in Dvaita. This is what he said. This is what the Pandit ji assumed the answer of this too. But then they asked Kalidas ji, after the whole thing was done, what did you say like this? Such a beautiful answer. How did you know? He said, he'll poke my eye. I said, I'll poke both your eyes. Then people thought, Achha, it was silent debate, it was good. You didn't utter a word. Sometimes silence really works, but it is so difficult to be silent. चुप रह नहीं सकते. People talk of these secrets. And when they talk of secrets, how do they start? Don't tell anybody, huh? I should not be telling you this, but I am telling you, but don't tell anybody. If you were supposed to be not telling this and you end up telling it, why should the other person not tell it? And this is how it spreads. And when it spreads, believe me, it doesn't spread in the same texture. A little bit of customization happens. अपना मसाला डालते हैं, decorate it further. दुरुक्ता भाषणम, दुरुक्ते है मर्म पस्पृशुः. Kabir Das ji said, when you speak such a word, ऐसी बाणी बोलिए जो मन का आपा खोए, औरन को शीतल करे आपहु शीतल होए. If at all you have to talk such things that the others around you feel at peace and you also feel at peace. And some of us in little steps into spirituality, we hear about straightforwardness. And the curtness that you see, the rudeness that you see in their voice or in their approach. And you ask them, why are you so rude? Say, I'm not rude, I'm only straightforward. Your straightforwardness does not have any business disturbing others' peace. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, ma bruyat, priyam satyam. Apriyam satyam, sorry. Priyam satyam, apriyam satyam. Say it in such a way that it really is, and it is an art of saying it. Most of our miscommunication leads to treacherous ends. There are people with so many different kinds of understanding. Wrong understanding, misunderstanding, no understanding. See, at least the misunderstanding can be corrected. There are people who wrongly understand what you say. I was hearing Guruji, Swami Tejomananji's old lecture sometime, and in which he gives an example. This scientist, not a scientist, a professor, was doing a science project with the children and wanted to prove the bad effects of liquor. So he had a glass of water and a glass of liquor. Put 2 bugs in each. The one which was thrown into the liquor was dead. The one which was thrown into the water was still swimming. So he asked the kids, do you understand the moral of this experiment? And the first kid raised and said, yes sir. When you drink liquor, you are dead. Said, very good. Everybody agreed. But there was one fellow. He said, but sir, I think the moral of this whole experiment should be that you should drink liquor so that the bugs in your stomach, all the virus and other bacteria, they get killed. In Kenopanishad Bhashya, Adi Shankaracharya ji gives an example of all these 4 in order to explain what is wind. See, he is talking of the Pancha Mahabhuta, the earth, then the water and the fire can be shown. Air is something that cannot be shown. Can you show that this is air? You cannot show that this is air. So Adi Shankaracharya ji is sitting under the tree, he looks at the moving leaf and shows that to his students and says, that because of which the leaf is moving is wind. Vayu iti. So all the students move their heads. So the first one he asked, did you understand? He said, oh, that was very simple. No, in a class and somebody says that was very simple, I have never found them to be on mark. He said, that is very simple. I said, what? He says, the tree with a moving leaf is wind. Adi Shankaracharya ji is like, next, what did you understand? I knew he would never understand. Let me tell you what is wind. The branch with a moving leaf. As he was said to complete the statement, the third fellow said, no, that is also wrong. The moving leaf is wind. They are all wrong, erroneous understandings. Then there is misunderstanding. You said something, but it intended to be something else. It meant something else. 90% of it is because of our own imagination. Most of the times it is our own erroneous imagination. We misread the statements. What was intended there was the just vachyartha. What we take the meaning is, we read in between the lines and take some other meaning. I know what they meant. What did they mean? They just said this. No. Do you think they are that simple? I know what they meant. They said this because everybody else was also there. I know that. That is called the misunderstandings. No understanding at all. It all can happen with words. In Kali Yuga, most of our fights and miseries start with Durukta Bhashanam. And what we need is Suukta Bhashanam. Tol mol ke bolna chahiye. Even before we utter something, pause for a minute, think all possible results of your saying and then say it. You slap somebody, the pain of that slap doesn't stay long. Try it at your risk. घर जाके किसी को खींच के मार. Why Swamiji said slap somebody. But when you say something and that hurts, that pain stays forever. Now if you see the Mahabharata war, Mahabharata story, Duryodhana was already jealous of the beautiful palace that they had built in Indraprastha. He thought there was an entrance and bumped into a wall which had a beautiful painting as though it was an entrance. So there was already a little bloop on his head. When you read the cartoons, that's what it says. B-L-U-P, bloop. So rubbing his forehead, he was walking in. He saw that there was like a pool and there was a floor. This time he didn't want to take chances. He went onto the floor and bloop again. He fell into the pool which was decorated as though it was a floor. Draupadi said, it is said in many different ways. The way I would like to take it is, there are many Sakhi, many people who are attending to Draupadi, and they laughed. And all that Duryodhana could hear was the laughter. And Draupadi said, you should not laugh when somebody falls. Chalo. And when Duryodhana turned back to look at who was laughing, all that he found was Draupadi. Badla lunga main. Hasti hai mere pe. You laugh at my fall? I will also teach you. Misunderstandings. 90% of it is imaginary. Most of it starts with Durukta Bhashana. Like we just saw even yesterday, how Vidura was knocked out of Hastinapura with Durukta Bhashana. And Dhritarashtra did not say a single word to stop his own kids. Now with this Durukta Bhashana, what happened? though the Lord had planned for it to happen. The Brahmanas who had cursed the Yadukula Vamsha comes to be real now. It seems on that ocean there were these huge reed, a grass-like thing that grew. Earlier I used to think, how can somebody hit each other with grass and they die? Recently I had gone to San Diego, and on the beach we were walking, and there are this huge green slippery stuff on the beach. I was told that it is the weed that grows in the ocean, and the bulbs were literally this big, and they are almost like 10-15 feet tall. With that egg bhi pada na. So imagine the reeds are not like grass that grows in your backyard, but they are really strong weed, as good as a stem or a branch that could really hit somebody very badly. And with that they attacked each other, hit each other. By morning, bhuktva cha pitva cha muktva. After having eaten and drunk, they released each other from this worldly bondage. Then after having done this, Lord left this Dwaraka and sat down somewhere in one beautiful area under a Vatavruksha, under a banyan tree. And as Lord was sitting there in the Prabhasa Kshetra, I also reached. I also followed the Lord, because I knew that if the Lord had left Dwaraka, there was something to happen there. So I followed the Lord. That was the best part. If you are following the Lord, it is those who do not follow the Lord fall prey for all things. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, the chakki, the stone grind, when you put grains in the middle and keep rotating it, after a while it comes out as powder. But when you lift that upper stone, you see that near that main stub, the iron thing that is there, which is called the kuta, there are still grains around it. Those grains which are around it, nothing had happened to them. It is only those grains which had gone away from that stub, got totally ground. So our condition is also like that. The farther away are we from Lord, the finer we are ground. The closer we are to that, nothing can harm. So this Uddhavji followed Lord Krishna to that banyan tree. And then it is said, Lord, a normal posture of Lord, wherever you see, it is said he is in the Tribhangi Akara. You have the flute in one hand, and the hip going on one side, leg going on one side. Very difficult to catch him. But unlike his earlier postures, he was sitting under this, or rather relaxing under the banyan tree with, sleeping on one side with the arm resting and his right foot on his left leg and holding that right leg with his other hand. And he was enjoying his peace at that place where Uddhavji arrived. Having arrived there, Uddhavji, as soon as Bhagavan looked at Uddhavji, he said, Vedaham, I know what is there in your heart. Vedaham. Whatever is there in your heart, I completely understand. And he says, Satre pura vishwasrajam vasunam mat siddhi kamena vaso tvayeshtaha. it is like almost your last life, this life of yours, and it is because of your earlier penance to be as a servant to the Lord Himself that you are born in this life as Uddhav. So, that knowledge that you have been asking from me, I give it unto you, because after I am gone, I need somebody to continue with this knowledge that I am going to share with you. They say that the Grihasthas have the Vamsha Parampara. Vamsha Parampara sometimes is based on the father side, sometimes it is on the mother side. If you go to Kerala, it is on the mother side. Mother is the main prominent person and it is to the daughters, and that is how the tradition is. And most of the times it is the father lineage. Similarly, it is seen that there is a Jnana Parampara. Jnana Parampara, wherein the Mahatmas have their lineage of giving this knowledge unto the next generation. Like we also chant Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Guru Parampara. And in fact, if you go to Uttarkashi, Rishikesh, Haridwar, if you are a sannyasi and you go meet other Mahatma, the first thing they ask, "Kaun parampara ke ho tum?" To which parampara do you belong to? And nowadays it has become very, they know. They say, Chinmaya Mission. Chinmaya Mission ke ho. In fact, I met some of those Mahatmas who had met Taponji Maharaj also. And they used to say, हम तुम्हारे वो तपोवन महाराज से भी मिल चुके हैं. Yeah, they know the parampara. And in those Uttarkashi and those areas, if you say that you are from that Tapovan Maharaj's lineage, the treatment is entirely different. So below Haridwar, we normally say we are from Chinmaya Mission. Above Haridwar, we say we are from Tapovan Maharaj. Whatever is understood, right? It is the same parampara. So here, Lord Himself has this parampara of giving this knowledge unto Uddhavji. Pura maya proktam ajaya nabhye padme nishannaya mamadi sarge. Before this creation, I gave this knowledge unto Brahmaji. Jnanam param man mahimava bhasam yat surayaha bhagavatam vadanti. This knowledge shall be known as Bhagavatam. That I am giving unto you. How many paramparas that we see here? There is one parampara wherein Sutaji is telling to all the rishis. Then Sutaji is referring to Shukadevji giving this knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj. And Shukadevji also refers this as his own father having given this knowledge to him. Now Bhagavan says, I have given this knowledge pura, long time ago, to Brahmaji himself. And that I am giving unto you. If you refer to 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Lord says in the very beginning, Jnanam pura maya proktam. I gave this knowledge to the son. The son gave it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku gave it to his son. And that is how this knowledge has been coming. Arjuna says, Lord, I know you to be 3-4 years older than me. When did you end up giving it to son? That too before creation. Even if you say something, it should be realistic, Lord. You should not say something, बहुत बड़ा फेंक गया तुम. The Lord says, I know my earlier Janma, and you do not know of your earlier Janma. The difference is that I am the Avatar. So in his Avatar, in many different avatars, he has given this knowledge personally. In this particular lineage, he gives this knowledge to Uddhavji. And why was Uddhavji selected? So it is said, there are many reasons. One is that Uddhavji was almost considered by the Lord as his own replica, his own form. It is said in the 31st shloka, Na Uddhavaha anuvapi manyunaha. Uddhavji is so similar that anuvapi, in all different forms of, he is just similar to me. And it is said that when there is, main deity, the main deity in that temple is installed, Prana Pratishtha. And you do not move that Lord anywhere. So in order to take on to processions, there is a Utsaha Vigraha. Like we also have it in the mandir here. There is main Sri Ramchandraji and his Parivar, and in front of him is the Ram Parivar, which is in the metal, which we take it out and do the worship whenever is necessary. In the Mahabharata times, Lord considered Uddhavji as his Utsav Murti. People from Vrindavan sent message. Instead of himself going, he sent Uddhavji. And that is a different issue. Pitke aaye hai. Uddhavji was given a very different treatment there by the Gopikas. But the point there was that Lord sent him or considered Uddhavji as his own representative. So much so that even today in Badri Narayan, when you go to Badri Ashram there, to the temple, 6 months is the worship to that Shaligrama that is there. And the next 6 months, the Utsav Vigraha is the Uddhavji's Murti, which is taken down to Joshimath, wherein he is worshipped as Narayana himself. And the meaning of Uddhava is Ut, Utkrishtaha, Paramatmani Krishnaha, Dhavaha. Ut meaning that supreme Lord himself, Krishna. Dhava, the one who is the sevak, servant of. Such one is called Uddhava, the one who is servant of the Paramatma himself. Now to such one, this knowledge was given by the Lord. Now when this knowledge was given to Uddhavji, then Uddhavji is confessing it to Vidurji. Naturally, the inquisitiveness in Vidurji, he says, Jnanam param swatma raha prakasham yadaha yogeshwara ishwaraste vaktum bhavannaha. Please tell that to me also. That jnana which was given by the Lord himself, he must have given in complete detail with all the Guda Rahasya. How lucky you are that the Lord himself has given this knowledge to you. Please give this knowledge to me also. Now if you see, in Lord Krishna's time, he had given knowledge personally 3 times. One to Uddhavji, twice to Arjuna. One is called the Bhagavad Gita. The other one is called the Anugita or Uttara Gita. That was the first time he gave the knowledge, and this is my take on it. You know my take, right? Probably Arjuna thought, too much of discussion. ठीक है बाबा, जो तुम बोलोगे वो करूंगा मैं. You want me to go fight? I'll go fight. But then the Mahatmas say that at that moment the clarity that dawned in Arjuna was lost. After the Rajasuya Yajna and everything was settled down, Lord Krishna was sitting there quietly and Arjuna comes there and says, Asha Krishna, in the battlefield I thought you were telling me about great knowledge. What was it all about? I almost forgot. 700 shlokas. And the Lord thinks, but sit, I'll try again. Now there are two ways to understand. One, Lord himself telling to Arjuna and he was not able to understand. This will be the crooked way of seeing it. How would a seeker understand this? In spite of the Lord saying it, if there is no swadhyaya, manana, nididhyasana, abhyasa, it would not benefit us until we have done the sadhana. So there was this Arjuna, who was more in a rajasic state. The other one was Uddhavji. In fact, he was given this knowledge with the purpose to propagate this knowledge to everybody. So he, having heard it once, understood and experienced the knowledge. When Vidurji asked, he says, please tell me this knowledge. Uddhavji says, Nanu, I will not. Te tattva samradhyaha rishihi kaushavaro antime sakshat bhagavata adishtaha martyalokam jihasata. This I cannot share with you right now. And he says, this comes in the 35th shloka, 34th shloka. Dehanyasam chatasyevam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam anyesham dushkarataram pashunam viklavatmanam atmanam cha kuru shrestha krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda prema vihvalaha. Atmanam cha kuru shrestha kuru krishnena manasekshitam. Atmanam, about hearing about himself, this kuru shrestha. He was also Kuru Vamshi. If you look at it that way, he is also Kuru Vamshi. How? Pandu, Dhritarashtra, Pandu and Vidura were brothers. They were born of Vyasji Maharaj. So Shukadev ji is their older brother. So this Vidurji Maharaj, who is also a Kurushrestha, he was so touched that the Lord thought of him at the last moment. It's something like you are leaving from this town, moving back to some other place. You wanted to meet or give somebody something very touching desperately and you could not meet. The final moment you find somebody very close enough to you, you give that package to them and say, please make sure that you give this to them. And you thought you were never worth their attention. And when you receive that package, they gave it just before they were leaving, they were trying for you. And even in just this mortal world, we feel so touched. We feel so lucky to have somebody think of us. Imagine the Lord is completing his Leela. आराम से पेड़ के नीचे बैठे हुए हैं. He has packed, his Leela is done, I am leaving. And there comes Maitreya ji. And when Maitreya ji comes, when Uddhav ji is being taught this knowledge, so Maitreya ji asks, can I have the permission to sit there? Because even when the knowledge is being shared, just coming in and sitting without the permission is called eavesdropping. And it's worthy of punishment. See, when Lord Krishna himself gave this knowledge to Arjuna, there was another person listening to this whole thing. Do you know who? Kapidhvajaha. There was Kapi sitting there. Yes, Sanjaya was hearing it because of the default blessing which the Lord himself had given to him, that you can have the direct transmission. First battle reporter, war reporter, live reporter. And he was a very good editor, huh? He edited the whole of Bhagavad Gita and did not give it to Dhritarashtra on the first day. Sanjay was out of the war, he was not in the war. In the war, as the message was being given, Kapi, Lord Hanumanji, was sitting on the top of their Ratha. After the whole Bhagavad Gita was done, after the whole Mahabharata war was done, he comes down, prostrates to Krishna and says, Kshama Yachana, I have done a big mistake. He said, what did you do? While you were talking, because I was placed there, I happened to hear what you were talking to Arjuna. As a prayaschitta, tell me, what do I have to do? They say the first commentary on Bhagavad Gita was written by Hanumanji. And he was the first one to comment on Bhagavad Gita. So similarly, Maitreya ji heard that Lord Krishna was giving this message and prostrated unto Krishna and said, Lord, do I have the permission to sit and listen to this? And Lord said, I was just waiting for you. Maitreya ji, I was just eagerly waiting for you. You are late by 2 minutes. I just started, I'll repeat the whole thing, but sit. Maitreya ji thought, Areva, not for you, it is for my Vidura. Hear this knowledge, but give this knowledge to Vidura, for whom I have been waiting to give this knowledge. And he has gone on this Tirtha Yatra, he is not in my presence, so I cannot give this knowledge. Make sure that you give this knowledge to him. And this when Vidurji heard, they say, Anyesham dushkarataram, dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda pema vihvalaha. He was so moved, so touched by Lord's concern for Vidura. He was so overwhelmed by this emotion of devotion to the Lord, love for the Lord, that he just stood there. And it was not that he was trying to cry. There are some professional criers. उनके सर पे ना, they carry a big pot of water, salt water. Anything happening or not happening, the first thing is time, tears come out. Why? But here it was effortless. It was like nothing was in his control. He was so moved by the Lord's concern for him that the tears started flowing out continuously. Then Kalindyaha Katibihi Siddhaha Ahobihi Bharatarshavah Prapadyata Swasaritam Yatra Mitrasuto Munihi. From there, from the Kalindi Nadi, where he met Uddhavji, he started moving out and slowly reached to Ganga Nadi, wherein Maitreya Rishi was living. Thus ends our 4th chapter. In the 5th chapter, Shukadev ji says, Dvari Dyunadya Rishabha Karuna Kurunam. Now this Kurunam, the greatest among the Kuru Vamsha is Vidura. He entered the Dwara. Dwara? See, there is still I think there was a Supreme Court case also on this particular issue to say whether it is Haridwara or Haradwara. Yes, when you hear the pronunciation, some people say Hardwar and some people say Haridwar. And there are people fighting there in that place. Why is it Haridwar or Haradwar? It is from there when you enter, you go to Kedarnath, which is Hara, Badrinath, which is Hari. So there was the decision that was made was not Haridwar, not Haridwar, Haradwar. They said Ishwaradwar. Anyway, it is to the Lord, towards the Lord. So Dwarim, he entered into that Haridwara Kshetra, where Maitreya Rishiji was sitting in his meditations. Papracha Saushilya Gunabhitruptaha. This soft-hearted Vidura reached that Maitreya Rishi. Papracha asked few questions. And one should understand about Vidurji. He is somebody who is completely abiding in the knowledge. So righteous that many kingdoms approached him for guidance and direction. And his only focus and interest was devotion unto the Lord. And he was at the same age of Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and he was born at the same time. Maybe a couple of minutes here and there. So when this Sreshta Kuru goes to Maitreya Rishi, who has also great respect for Vidura. And such Vidura asks the question, and when he is asking the question, the only purpose for asking the question is unlike somebody like, we already know the answer. But we ask the question so that we tell everybody, show off. मुझे ये भी मालूम था, फिर भी मैंने पूछा. No, it is not, it is unlike that. Vidurji's questioning was so that there would be an abhyasa, manana, interaction with the Lord, with Maitreya Rishi about the Lord. Anything that could remind him, take his mind, tune his mind to the Lord, his focus would go into that. So as soon as he met Maitreya Rishi, Sukhaya karmani karoti lokaha natai sukham vanyadu paramam va vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha. Hey Bhagavan, hey Maitreya Rishiji, please, with your compassion, tell me about the Lord, because in this loka, the crux of our whole life is given in this one shloka. Our life, normal life, is given in this one shloka. Sukhaya karmani karoti lokaha. This loka, everybody works for getting some kind of happiness. Ask anybody, why do you do what you do? The answer that we give is so that I can be happy. Why do you torture your husband, wife, children? So that I can be happy. Whether it is, whatever is the effort, positive or negative, we put an effort so that I can be happy. Sukhaya karmani karoti lokaha. न तैहि सुखम वान्यत वा अन्यत उपरमम वा न वै सुखम. Do we get that sukham? The very generic answer. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Right? Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are not happy. Vidurji decides for us. Don't be so ambiguous. Let me state it for you. Navai sukham. We think that we have gotten happiness, but before we even cognize that there was a happy moment, it is already gone. Navai sukham. Va anyat uparamam va. Okay, if not sukha, with the effort that we put, is the dukkha gone? He says, now uparamam, dukkha is not gone, and neither we find that the source for the dukkha is removed, but in fact we find that the misery increases. Disappointments increase. Vindeta bhuyaha tataeva dukkham. O Lord, have compassion on us of this world and tell us, why are we stuck in this world for removing the dukkha and getting the sukha through karma? Our complete life history is given in these two sentences. Constantly we are struggling to remove dukkha so that we can get sukha, or so that we can enjoy the sukha. So overwhelming are the dukkha that we have lost our focus on sukha. So fast the dukkha is coming that you have taken care of one dukkha, the other dukkha comes. You have sent your kids to your school, then the husband comes. One thing after the other. You thought that you have done with something, and then something else crops up. Then something else crops up. Then you were like, the kids here play this game. There are these color patterns on a big square board. And then they keep giving you different colors. What do they call that game? Twister? Okay. And you end up like with your hand here and some hand there, leg here, leg there. You are like twisted. You have to reach to that color without falling with your leg or hand or leg or hands. That's only that choice. And we are like, twisted in that. The first time I saw that game, I thought, yahi to sabki chakkar hai. We are all twisted. Twisted for what? Not for sukha. Just to block the dukkha happening. And by the evening, we are tired. So we sleep. Morning we get up. Arey baapre, I didn't cover this dukkha yesterday. Let me cover the thing today. Constant focus on dukkha, misery which is increasing. Sukha is never seen. But ask anybody, the only thing they say, karmani karoti lokaha. I am working so that I can be happy. Lord, I think this loka, when we work for sukha, is something which is wrong. At least such people still have some devotion to the Lord. What about the people, janasya krishnad vimukhasya daiva? There are people who not only are entrapped in their own sukha dukkha equation, but are vimukha Krishna. They are away from Lord. In fact, they consider that there is nobody called God. They consider that this whole world just happened by a big bang. And there is nothing called God or anybody called God. All that is my effort. adharmashilasya sudukhitasya. Adharmashila, because his only intention is to get sukha. In gaining that sukha, any kind of unethical, immoral, non-value based efforts that they put, leading to more misery and more pain, more distress in their life. Anugrahayeha charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. He says, great and blessed are we people who get darshana, who get the chance to meet with people like you, who having abided in the self, reveling in that supreme, charanti, you keep going around in this world for what? Anugrahaya iha, for giving blessings to this world. So that they are the distributors of God's blessings in a mobile way. Chalta firta blessing factory. They go around distributing the blessings of the Lord. Now don't misunderstand blessings of the Lord as they touch you and something happens and you change your life. Don't expand your imagination. We are not talking of miracles here. What even Vidurji is asking is the knowledge that you have, the knowledge that you are abiding in, the clarity that you are passing as a blessing that you have gotten in your experience. Blessed are we, bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. We find the blessings of the Lord through people like you. Now tell me, why is it that we all are entrapped in this dukkha, wherein every part of this creation, karoti karmani krita avataraha, the Lord takes different forms. In fact, He simultaneously can take forms in million ways across the different Brahmandas. One point that I just recollected of Uddhavji, he is saying to Vidurji, blessed are those Rakshasas, blessed are those people, because I consider them also to be bhaktas. You know, after doing such tapasya, you get the Lord's darshana, Sashanka Chakram, Sakitita. When he is standing in front of you with the Shanka Chakra, Gada, Padma, and with a smile on his face, riding on a Garuda. And for the Rakshasas, he comes in the same Shanka Chakra, Gada, Padma, riding on a Garuda. And they also have done tapasya. They are a different kind of bhakta. Even those Rakshasas who got slain by the Lord, they are different kind of bhaktas. I will not consider, I will think that it will be erroneous on my part to brand them as evil. Because if they were evil, they would never get darshan of the Lord. And his standpoint is really amazing. If they have gotten Bhagwan's darshan, whatever be it the reason. And says Putana, who came to kill Krishna with her breast tipped with poison. And the Lord thought, I have taken birth so many times, never any mother fed me with this kind of taste. Even to such Putana, who became his temporary makeshift mother, he said it would be bad to just kill her and not give her the Param Dham. He said, okay, tu bhi chal andar. is a Lord who has his krupa, and for us people, Vidurji says, we have krupa like you speaking to us. And the Lord himself takes so many different avatars. Probably what Vidurji meant was, he takes different multivarious forms so that he could uplift his other forms which have forgotten their own identity. Kritavataraha. Yatha sasarjagra idam nirihaha samsthapya vrittim jagato vidhatte. He has created this beautiful world wherein we have stopped seeing beauty in this world. When do we find this world beautiful? Whenever our emotions are quiet. Whenever they are turbulent, we find this universe to be a wretched place. But in fact, in its basic reality, this whole universe is so beautiful. Because the Lord himself expanded as this universe, how can this be otherwise? Try this with the beloved. Your front, the front view of your face, अच्छा नहीं है. Just turn so that I can see your contour, profile. Profile में अच्छे दिखती हो. If it is really your beloved, लगा के दो देगी. Because whether in a front size or a profile or whatever it is, as that Majnu used to say, Laila was not beautiful, it seems. The father himself, father of Laila, went to Majnu and said, why are you mad again with my daughter? She is not even beautiful. With the riches that you have, you can get hundreds and thousands of people who are better than my Majnu, my Laila. And it seems he said, to find the beauty of Laila, you need Majnu's vision. लैला की खूबसूरती को देखने के लिए मजनू की आंख चाहिए. वाह. Similarly, here we are those who are not able to perceive, we are not able to see the Lord as he is in his expansion. If he is beauty, if he is that supreme, how can his expansion be any way other than beauty and supreme? And if we don't see that beauty and supreme, it is not because the world is not beautiful. It is because our vision is crooked. See, when people have blurred vision, do you take Windex and keep cleaning the world? What do? You go to an ophthalmologist and check your eyes and correct your eyes. Correct your vision. Do you go on correcting the world? And sometimes you have this vision wherein you see 2-3 people. So you end up saying, to say one thing why 3 people have come. Do you change the outside world? No. You correct the vision to take away the disparity. Similarly, to see this beautiful world, we have to not recreate the world in a beautiful pattern. It already is beautiful. What we need to change is our internal vision. The moment that vision is corrected, we stop seeing division. And when we stop seeing division, what we see is that supreme beauty right in front of us. So Vidurji asks, why and how did Lord become into this multivarious beautiful world? Why is it that we as Jiva are not able to see that beautiful world? How is it if that Lord has created this out of His own expansion, and I, who is an integral part of that creation, of that expansion, not able to perceive my own beauty? It's not again, when the question, the way he ends, he says, how is it that if I am a part of His creation and expansion, why am I not able to see my own beauty? I am beautiful because I am an expansion of Lord. Why don't I perceive that? Why don't I feel that? Why don't I experience that? Then he asks, now this whole multivarious world, beautiful world created, if not for devoting ourselves in interaction with each aspect of this world to abide in that devotion, what else is it for? So, hey Maitreya Rishi, bless me so that I can abide in that devotion and explain to me all these different aspects. Now Maitreya Rishi, who knows, who is Vidura, he says, Sadhu pushtam tvaya sadho lokan sadhvanu gruhnata kirtim vitanvata loke atmano adhokshajatmanaha naitachitram tvayi kshatta badarayana viryaje grahito anyaya bhavena yatvaya haririshvaraha. Maitreya Rishi also knows who is the student there, who is asking for this knowledge. Who is he? Badarayana Viryaje, the one who is born of Badarayana. Badarayana is Vyasji Maharaj. You know the complete name of Vyasji? Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Badarayana Vyasa. Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Badarayana Vyasa. SKDVB Vyas. That is his complete name. SKDVB Vyas. Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Badarayana Vyasa. Badarayana because he was doing his tapascharya in Badrik Ashrama. He was called Badarayana. Shri Krishna because he was dark in complexion. See, there were three people in Mahabharata time who had Krishna name, with the meaning that they were dark. One was Vyasji, one was Draupadi. Her name was also Krishna. So most of the South Indians, when they sing and when they call for Lord, they are actually calling for Draupadi. Hey Krishna! Krishna, the Dirgha in the end, makes it Strilinga. Akaranta Strilingi. So what are we calling? Draupadi ji. And the third one is our own dear Krishna. So this Badarayana, he says, born out of Vyasaji, how could you be not having devotion unto that Hari Ishvara? Now that you are asking this question, it should be for Loka Kalyana only. See, you are already abiding in it. I can see that. Now if you are asking for this question, there can be only two reasons. You want to again and again hear about the glories of the Lord. And second, but you are asking this question, the lineage that the Lord has given this knowledge and this can be given to the rest of the world can continue. These are the only two reasons, not that I have to teach you something specially. And he says, Mandavya Shapad Bhagavan Praja Samyamano Yamaha. You are Yama himself, who because of Mandavya Muni's shapa became a Dasi Putra. Otherwise, you are Yama himself, I know that. Yasya Jnanopadeshe Deshaya Maya Adishya Bhagavan Vrajan. And through you to reach out to the people, Lord has given me this instruction to give you this knowledge supreme. He says, Athate Bhagavat Leela Yogamayopabrumhitaha Vishwasthiti Udbhava Antararthaha Varnayami Anupurvashaha. I am going to tell you about Srishti Sthiti Laya, about that Supreme and His creation and the whole process. Now please, bless me that you hear to this. Now what a kind of a relation that these two have. Vidurji says, bless me so that I can get knowledge. Maitreya Rishi says, you are already there, bless me so that I can share this knowledge with you. Because both of them are not claiming the knowledge, it is because the Lord has given, so that the rest of the world gets benefited out of this. So here Maitreya Rishi starts in the 23rd shloka in the 5th chapter. He says, Bhagavan ekaha aset. Bhagavan ekaha. There is only one supreme reality. And He is alone, and He is as the form of existence. And He is the one who is without birth, without death. Why? Because that which exists always can neither have birth nor have death. Confusing words, right? The simple thing is that which is existing. If you say that it had birth, it means before that birth it existed not. And if you say that it died, it means after the death it is non-existent. So that which existed, that which exists, and that which exists, that which will exist in the future can neither have birth and death. And that was only one. There is only one supreme. Sometimes when you hear different commentaries, different meanings. See, I love reading the Vaishnava Sampradaya meaning for this Bhagavata, especially to enjoy my 10th canto. Because they give it out with such bhakti bhava. And you listen to Vedantis, even that bhakti bhava is mutilated with a lot of symbolism in it. It is not of that pravaha, bhakti pravaha you don't find. But sometimes you find that reading through this Vaishnava Sampradaya, whenever such statements are made, their claim is Bhagavan ekaha Shri Krishnaha eva. भगवान एक है पर वो कृष्ण ही है. Other gods, they are not gods at all. They might be some servant somewhere of God, but they are not God. God means only Narayana in form of Krishna. Rest all are no gods. So worship Lord Krishna alone, you will get Vaikuntha, you will get Moksha. Rest of the gods, they are themselves servants. How can they promise any Vaikuntha or Moksha for you? And for Loka Kalyanartha, for everybody's sake, Lord has given this knowledge to Maitreya, to Vidura. Loka Kalyana, you are all part of the world. So reach unto Krishna. I somehow don't find it that befitting. It is somehow narrowing down the meaning to say that that one Lord is only one form. What Viduraji said so far gets defeated, wherein he said, If the Lord is there who can take billions of forms in all the universes simultaneously, why should he be restricted to one form called Krishna? He can take any form. So when you hear the word Bhagavan Ekaha, and do not restrict it to one form. Yes, you can accept it to that one form which you like, but it does not mean to say that the other forms are invalid. Do you all love your mother? Yes or no? Is she as beautiful as Aishwarya Rai? Better than Aishwarya Rai? And you should have asked me, who is Aishwarya Rai? In comparison to my mother, who is Aishwarya Rai? My mother, though whether beautiful or not, irrespective of the beauty or the absence or presence of beauty, she is my mother I love. And it is not in comparison with other mothers. Because I love my mother, your mother is no mother. ये कौन सा लॉजिक हुआ? Similarly, the God is one, but in the form that you like can be worshipped. Bhagavan Ekaha Asit. And he was alone sitting. And he started thinking. बैठे बैठे थक गए, करना था कुछ काम. ऐसा अकेला बैठा हूं भाई, I should do something, right? I'm sitting alone. And after he thought, and then there was this the PJs that you hear. PJs? Professional jokes. So there was this fellow who had gone to give out an English examination. And his friends knew that he was not very strong in English. So when he came out, they asked, how did you write this question paper? And he said, everything was easy. There was only one question which was very hard. They asked me the past tense of think. I thought and wrote thank. So here, Lord thought. I am sitting alone, what to do? He said, he will think about it, he'll sleep over it tonight and talk about it tomorrow. We will see that from after 23rd shloka tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva